All right, welcome out to another episode of the 365 Sports Unlimited. We're here this evening. I've got my guy that I talk UFC with, right? Val F. Val, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Ready to get some UFC on the show, on the road.
Yeah, it's been we couldn't do the whole schedule. We had to change things around. You know, we had the 4th of July, of course, and then your schedule, my schedule is kind of off. You had some things going on over there, and then my work schedule kind of a little crazy. But we are able to come here. We're going to be talking and previewing the tomorrow's UFC bout between, of course, the main event is Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. There's a lot to talk about. We were unable to kind of break it down these last possibly 2 weeks, right, Val? But we have been talking about this in our previous podcast, and so we knew this was coming. We have been anticipating this fight. It's a big one, and I won't say no more until we get to the Conor and Dustin. But we're going to break down the main event today, this evening, and there's 5 fights on the main card. And so what we're going to do this evening, we're just going to break down the 5 fights that are going to be on the main event card. And Val is going to break each one down and kind of let you know what he knows about the fighters, their skill sets, and how these fights may or may not go. And then after we're done breaking them down, we're going to come back to each one, and then Val is going to give his predictions on who he thinks will win the fights. And then, of course, we'll be back Sunday evening to break down the fights, and then we'll tally up. Val does have already 5 fights, I think, from the 263. So we're going to keep adding to his record. We'll see how he does with this matchup. But Val, if you're ready, I'm ready definitely to start breaking down the main event card. So if you're ready, on the first UFC 264, we have the Bantamweight bout that's going to happen between Sean O'Malley and Kris. Give me his last name.
Yeah, Kris Moutinho.
Moutinho.
I'm pretty sure it's foreign. Yeah, Moutinho.
Okay, give us your preview. Preview this fight for us. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, this fight is going to be nothing but fireworks. It's going to be awesome. This one is going to be pretty quick, really fast paced. This one, some stuff happened to it. Kris Moutinho wasn't really going to be the fighter. It was Louis Smolta was actually gonna fight. He was coming in 135, looking to take on Sean O'Malley, but he had suffered some type of infection. I believe it was a staph infection. So they were like, oh, he's not medically cleared. So we're just going to go ahead and try to find somebody else. So there was a lot of other fighters trying to fight Sean O'Malley, but Kris Moutinho was the one who ultimately got the pick. Sean said he wanted to fight nothing but the best. This guy is he's pretty good. Even he might not be well known to some UFC fans, but he has done some good stuff. Starting off with Sean, he's got a record of 13-1, so he's only lost 1. Some people thought that he would never lose. I mean, before he suffered his first loss to Marlon Vera, he was looking dominant in fights. I mean, with wins over Alberto Quinones, Eddie Wineland, and Thomas Almeida, he was on the Ultimate Fighter 26 finale, and he beat Terrion Ware with the decision. This guy is a tough puzzle to crack. He has good footwork. He has all the fundamentals for MMA, and he's long too, and he uses his reach advantage really well. He's crafty, and this guy, he just does crafty stuff. Like I seen this Sean O'Malley guy do some stuff that you would expect from a veteran, somebody doing it a lot longer than somebody of his age. He claims the reason why he lost that one fight to Vera was because he rolled his foot, but not taking anything away from Vera. Vera was punching him, and when he got him down, the ref stopped it. But according to Sean, he says that fight was a fluke. He said, according to him in his head, he says he's still undefeated, even though he's got the one. Again, not taking anything away from Vera, but he did get the win over Sean. But Sean's looking to recover from that loss. He did already. He beat his last fight. He beat somebody on and I think it was Thomas Almeida was the one. But anyway, he said, hey, this is the one that he's gonna He's gonna win. Said he's gonna come back. He wants to fight nothing but the best. Ricky Simone was gonna fight. This guy has good footwork, good talent, but he said he wanted to fight at 145. Sean said no. His training camp, his diet, his cardio, everything that he's doing right now, it revolves around 135. So he says that he's gonna take somebody on at 135 here. So Kris Moutinho is that guy here. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about him. Not many people know Kris Moutinho. This is his UFC debut, and it's going to be pretty good, right? Yeah, but yeah, he's fighting off of Milford, Massachusetts. He fought with a professional career in Northeastern promotion called CES MMA. He last fought in the Titan Fighting Championships and in the Titan Fury Championships. So this guy, he's familiar with fighting. He knows what he's doing. I'm not gonna question his cardio. His record's 9-4. So this was one of the best fights that Sean could get. You know, he said he wanted a tough opponent, and here he is, Kris Moutinho. You know, I believe this is Kris's first UFC fight. You know, there was no UFC record for this guy. There's a lot of fighters posting on social media, this and that, you know, but I think Moutinho, he definitely has what it takes. I mean, he's had some decision. Most of his wins were by decision. He does have some KOs. I mean, this is good. So I feel like this fight is really going to test Sean. Like I said, he already came back from a win after that one loss, but now Sean O'Malley has his eyes set on the title. He can get past this guy. He's going to go and probably get a title fight soon. So to UFC fans, Kris Moutinho, we don't really know much about him other than what, you know, we've said and researched. So I feel like Kris Moutinho, he's really got a, you know, target on his back. He's in the spotlight now. It's his first UFC fight. Sean O'Malley is getting a big name. He might be a young guy, but he's a rising star. He's a young prospect. He is looking to shine. So all eyes are on Kris Moutinho, looking to see if he can take on Sean O'Malley. They're going to start off the card.
Yeah, so it's going to be a good one. We'll see, and we'll get your predictions here in a few minutes. The next fight on the 264 main event is the women's bantamweight bout between Irene Aldana.
Yeah.
And I can't say the other lady's name correctly. I know you can.
Yeah, Yana Kunitskaya.
Okay. So break that one down for us.
Yeah, this one's going to be amazing, too. This one's taking place at 135. Irene Aldana is ranked number 4, and of the bantamweight women's division, Yana Kunitskaya is coming in at number 5, so right behind her. Yana's Kunitskaya is going to be fighting down. Irene Aldana is going to be, Irene will be fighting down, and Kunitskaya will be fighting up. If Kunitskaya wins, she'll be able to move in rank, take her number. Irene Aldana, should she lose, not much of a setback, just one. But, you know, sometimes with the way that the system works, there could be a lot of factors that go into these rankings here. But we're going to start off with Irene Aldana right here. She's 12-6, about half, you know. She's won 2 of her last 3 fights. In 2019, she has a win over Vanessa Milo by decision, a win over Ketlin Vera by first round TKO, and in 2020 she fought Holly Holm, who defeated her by a 5-round decision. So we know Aldana, she's got good hands, good striking, she's good precision, she has the cardio to keep up a good pace, you know, and not just because of she went the 5 rounds distance, but she has gone the distance multiple times, and she should come prepared, and she should be looking to finish right now. 6 wins by TKO, 3 by submission. We'll see how she prepares for Kunitskaya. They both are going to have the same reach. She'll have a height advantage, not really anything doing there. Kunitskaya, very technical too. She's going to be coming in right behind Aldana on the rankings with the number 5, right? And if she wins, she'll be able to take Aldana's number and move that much closer to bantamweight. She won 3 of her last 4. In 2019, she has a win over Marianne Renee by a decision, outstruck her on the feet, had a takedown. Later in the year, she fought Aspen Ladd, which she lost that fight by a 3rd round TKO. But in 2020, she was able to come back with the win over Juliana Julia Starlienko by a decision. This is the second time she's fighting this year. In February 20th, 2001, she beat Caitlin Vera by decision. So she has 7 wins by TKO. She's got 1 by the submission, 6 by decision. Not bad. I mean, she'll be ready to take on Irene Aldana. When the women at 135, man, don't let them fool you either. They might be tiny, might be little, thin, or whatever, but these girls are fast. I expect this one to definitely probably go a decision. I see a lot of point striking in this one. Don't see a little really too much, maybe not that much wrestling, maybe a little if any, but I think this is going to be a striking match, and both these girls are tough. This one's going to be good.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens on the next. The third fight on the main event card is the heavyweight bout between Greg Hardy and, give me the first name, Tuivasa.
Yeah, Ty Tuivasa.
Ty Tuivasa. So
Tuivasa.
Yeah, we're pretty close, I guess. Okay, so preview this one for us.
Yeah, this one's going to be awesome. Heavy hitters, straight up, for sure. Hardy, tough heavyweight, throws everything with intention. He likes to look for the KO, so you can say he will have a lot of strikes ready for his opponent. He's got 2 of his last 4. 2019, he lost a decision to Alexander Volkov. 2020, Hardy beat De Castro by a decision. Later that same year, he got a win over Maurice Green by a second-round TKO. And then he fought again at the end of the year, lost to Marcin Tybura. So all this chain of events that Hardy's been through, all these lessons he's learned, it's going to lead up into this fight. How bad does he want it? How much has his camp improved in his cardio and his conditioning? This guy is powerful. I expect him to be maybe a little stronger than Tuivasa, not taking away anything from Tuivasa. Tuivasa is very strong. I'm not sure if Tuivasa is going to want to stay in the pocket too long with this guy, because I see Greg Hardy just taking control, being center, going and being aggressive with Ty Tuivasa. Ty Tuivasa, he's also won 2 out of his last 4 fights. So this one's going to be pretty close. In 2019, he lost a decision to Blagoy Iganov. Then in the same year, lost to Sergey Spivak by a second-round submission. I mean, these are all good guys. In 2020, Tuivasa fought Stefan Struve in the first round and won in the first round by TKO. Earlier this year, he went up against Harry Hunsucker and was able to get another first-round win. So he'll be looking to continue to rack up these wins. So another win as he takes on a powerful hitter, that is Greg Hardy. I think Tuivasa, he's going to want to bang. He's going to want to stand and bang. I think Hardy might have a little bit of a strength advantage, so Tuivasa is going to have to really try to maybe throw some things. Going to want to bait Hardy. He doesn't want to maybe back up too much. If Greg Hardy can come forward fast and strong and cause Ty to back up against the cage, especially if he circles off, he'll be able to come up on the corner and possibly knock him out, TK him. So Ty's got to be ready for that. If he's going to stand and bang, I do say caution, do it with caution, because Hardy does throw heavy shots. If Hardy lands some shots, could be in trouble for Ty Tuivasa. So he's going to have to think smarter, think faster, try to definitely set something up, get a good reach, set up a good, establish some good striking, some good jabs, try to keep Hardy as bay as much as he can, unless his plan is to go in there and duke it out, which I think that might be it. That one's going to be crazy. Good fight, heavyweight.
All right, so you're hearing it. This is going to be great so far. And then we've got the last 2 fights that are going to be on the main card. You got number 2, Gilbert Burns, going up against number 4, Stephen Thompson. This is for the welterweight bout. Go ahead and preview this one for us.
Yeah, this is going to be welterweight for sure, 170 pounds. We got Gilbert Burns coming in at a whopping 19 wins, 14 losses. Stephen Thompson coming in at 16-4. You guys, both these guys are title contenders. They've each fought for the title. Didn't really come up maybe successful that night, but they've recollected themselves, and they are going into this fight knowing, hey, this is do or die now. If there's any hope for another title, this is it. You don't want another setback. Now, Thompson is coming in a little older at 38. Gilbert Burns is a little younger, but I still have to say that Wonder Boy Thompson does do crafty stuff. He's very skillful. He's very hard puzzle to crack. Gilbert Burns, we'll start with him for now. He's an amazing title contender. I mean, he is a good size for his weight class, very fast, very powerful in everything that he does. This guy's from Brazil, so he has a lot of passion, a lot of good amount of discipline. He won 3 of his last 4 fights. In 2019, he fought Gunnar Nelson, won by a decision. In 2019, he in 2020, I'm sorry, he defeated Damian Maia by first round TKO. Then a couple of months later, he beat Tyron Woodley, who was a former UFC champion, by a dominant decision. So this guy Gilbert Burns is getting after it. So that win over Woodley set him up for Usman. Now in that fight, he lost it, you know, but this is a good learning thing for him, because you know that even though he lost in, I believe it was in the third round. Yeah, Burns was TKO during the third round. Even though he did that, he's learned so much, and he is gonna feed off of this, and that'll be his energy that he's gonna do going into this fight. You know, he's tasted that defeat already, and he was so close to the title, because coming up on that fight, Gilbert Burns was so passionate. You could tell that if there is such thing as a guy winning a fight with his heart, Gilbert Burns was it. But Usman was just another level, right? So now he's fought the best, the very best. He's fought the top of the chain. So now he says, I know what it takes. If there's anyone who can dethrone Usman, Gilbert Burns might be one, right? So even though he lost already, that could say he could use that as an advantage. So now he'll be taking on Thompson. This is going to be good too, because now I'm going to move over to Thompson now. I mean, this guy, he is an excellent fighter, super technical, long, lanky, uses his reach. He has really great length, right? I mean, he will have a great test in front of him. That is Gilbert Burns. Wonder Boy, very tall, you know. I mean, like I said, this fighter, he has a long reach advantage and knows how to do it well. I always say that just because if you have a reach advantage, that doesn't mean nothing, right? But if you can utilize it and set your skills into the reach advantage, that is when you start seeing numbers. That's when you start seeing points. You know, Wonder Boy does a very good job at determining range. You know, picking his shots, precise hits. Wonder Boy's won 2 of his last 4 fights. In 2018, he lost the decision to Taryn Till. In 2019, Wonder Boy lost to Anthony Pettis by second round TKO. Excuse me, but came back later that year to get a win against Vicente Luque by decision. In 2020, he fought Geoff Neal, racked up another big win by decision. You know, Burns is a good matchup for Wonder Boy. I'm telling you, Gilbert is fast, he's strong, but Wonder Boy, I mean, he's precise and quick, and they both can go the distance. I mean, we should have a good pace and endurance where will come into play. We'll see who has the better gas tank. You know, I don't see cardio as an issue here. Burns might be a little stronger, so Wonder Boy is going to have to think quicker. He's going to have to think faster, looking for rhythms, looking to get his timing, trying, because you know Burns is probably going to go up there right up the middle. I'm not saying, and he's going to come out fast. I'm not saying Wonder Boy should say, hey, you know, let him spend his energy, let him use his gas tank so that way he can come back in the third. I'm not saying he's going to do that, because he's a very good technical fighter. Even though he might be backing up sometimes, you do see Wonder Boy score points in defensive positions or maneuvers. So if Burns does do that, I feel like maybe later on in the rounds, Wonder Boy could have some success, because I definitely see Burns coming, and I think Burns going to be stronger, right? So he'll come in strong. So Wonder Boy's definitely going to have to use his things, definitely do his homework. And this is going to be a good matchup. I see this as tall, long, technical Wonder Boy versus Gilbert Burns, and who might be stronger, maybe a little faster, but Wonder Boy is going to have a good test in front of him. We'll see if he can take care of Burns, or if Burns is going to take care of him.
We shall see. It'll be a good one tomorrow night. Then we go to the main event, 264. The card, the main event, of course, is the lightweight bout between number one Dustin Poirier and the fan favorite, I guess you could say, number 5, Conor McGregor. Go ahead and break this one down for us.
For sure. A lot of things to say about this one. This one's the main event. So much to discuss and talk about. McGregor, he's coming in number 5 ranked in the lightweight division. He is attempting to go for another UFC title. I mean, this will be their trilogy fight. The first fight in 2014, and Conor got a win over Dustin by a first round TKO. In their second fight, we know how that one went. You know, Dustin was able to get the KO on McGregor. So this leads us into our next fight, which will complete this trilogy. McGregor looks like he's taking this fight seriously. He knows what is at stake should he win or lose. You know, a win would propel him forward and closer to a title that he is chasing. And should he lose that, of course, it would be a major setback for McGregor. He would have to come back with a win, a couple of wins, try to get them to do and try to maybe win them in a dominant fashion to get his place back should he lose this fight. There's a chance he can lose his ranking. He don't want that. So he will definitely try to keep his legacy in place. I mean, he has achieved so much with MMA, but it isn't over yet. I mean, at least for him, he's been working and training for this rematch, and Conor doesn't taste defeat well. And all the times that he's tasted defeat, except for Khabib, and maybe Mayweather, but he's avenged losses. Apart from those two people that I just named, Khabib and Mayweather, all the other fights that he's fought, all the people that he's fought and lost, he's usually came back and beat him again. It's almost like he's left this sour taste in his mouth, and he said, man, I'm gonna come get this back. So I feel like that alone too is gonna be good. Maybe not enough, but what's gonna tip over the iceberg, right, is gonna be when he takes it seriously, takes his conditioning. He's going. I do think maybe there was a small chance McGregor maybe did overlook Dustin. Maybe he beat him. He even said it in the interview. He said, well, I already beat him. They said, when are you gonna, before McGregor got knocked out in the second round of the second fight, McGregor said, I'm gonna beat him again in probably in like 10 seconds or a minute. And the reporter said, what? You're gonna beat him that fast? And McGregor said, well, I did it the first time, but then we saw what happened. So after the fact, you do see a little mental thing. Maybe he just had low mentality, or maybe he thought low of Dustin, but now he knows, hey, he's got to come back and get this win. He's got to, now that Dustin has got Conor's respect, now he knows that Conor is going to have to turn it up a notch if he wants to compete for another title. He's been looking good these past couple of months leading into this third fight. McGregor posted a lot of pics. He seems to be in shape, ready for July, or this tomorrow, I should say, against Dustin. One can wonder what kind of strategy he will use against Dustin. McGregor had said over social media that the first one to shoot is a B word, and which he means takedown attempts. And Dustin says, hey, what do you mean? This is MMA. We should be able to utilize all the skills: boxing, wrestling, submission, whatever. I don't think we might not be seeing those submissions here, but just using an example, right? He says we should be able to do everything. It shouldn't be, why should you limit? He was telling Conor, don't limit. This is part of the trash talk, right? That Conor was saying, hey, you're not going to do this. We're going to keep it standing up. I don't know if that's a strategy for Conor to maybe get into his head that, he is going to strike her, but then he's not. I don't know. There were some rumors saying Conor might go for a takedown. Mind you, he hasn't gone for a takedown since 2013, or 14 or something like that. So I don't expect Conor to be shooting. So maybe he does plan to knock this guy out. But Dustin says what you should say. You shouldn't say the first one to try to take somebody down is a B word. He said you should the first one to get taken down, that should be the one. And so Conor, he's just talks and talks. He's trying to get back his groove. He's trying to get that crazy Conor into his head again. We saw in the first fight, Dustin admitted after the fight, he said Conor did get in my head a little bit. I think I had heard him say something like that. He said, maybe Conor did, but in 6 years he grew, he matured, and his heart hardened with good passion and just discipline. And Dustin's resilient, durable, and this guy is willing to take a hit to give a hit. Not saying that is the best idea to do, but what I'm trying to say here is Conor knows what he's up against. He knows what he's got to do. Dustin isn't the type of guy to let his guard down. Not anymore. Conor was smack talking the first fight. What happened? He won. The second fight, he was more humble. He was more to himself. He was more soft-spoken. People thought, have to change their heart. Maybe this is the real Conor. Maybe it was all a show. That's what rumors were saying, that, he's just acting for the cameras. He's really this soft guy, right? Or nice guy. And look where it got him. The fans, ones could argue, hey, we need crazy Conor. We want crazy Conor. So I think Conor maybe changed it around now that he got knocked out. And Dustin did say it because a reporter said in an interview, Conor, why, okay, is this a mental thing now that you're acting? Because the pre-interview, which happened yesterday, Conor was asked that if his antics, if he's trying to get into his head now, and Dustin had actually kind of interrupted a little bit, and he said, well, it's because he got knocked out. That's why he's changing it up now. And what he meant by that is during the interview before their second fight, he was soft-spoken, and then he got knocked out. So now they're thinking maybe he's going to change. Maybe he'll try to get in his opponent's head. I did see the video. I do have to say, I don't think Conor is the same in the trash talking department. I think he used to be really good at trash talking. Now I don't think so much. I mean, he was making comments on Poirier's wife, and he was just saying all kinds of stuff, crazy stuff on the interview. So Dustin was definitely more, I want to say more cool, more calm. You know, he was just he said he was over that. He thinks that McGregor's talking because it's a piece of insecurity, and that's something that he thinks is going to help him win. So Dustin says he's not taking any crap from nothing, and he's past that, and he's a bigger fighter. And I just think this is gonna be an amazing fight. I mean, I still have a little bit more to say. I mean, Dustin is coming in as the #1 ranked lightweight in the world. Poirier was offered a title shot after his last fight, but declined a trilogy fight with McGregor. You know, Dustin thought another fight with Conor was just more prestigious than the title fight. And the UFC president himself said Dustin made a good decision. You know, a lot of other guys in the past, they were offered a fight with McGregor, but I'm guessing that they would have rather maybe did another title fight, or for some other reason, it didn't happen, right? So in other words, they passed on the fight. So Dana White says, hey, you know, this is a good opportunity for Dustin. You know, I believe so too. You know, McGregor has really made a name for himself, and he is one of the biggest fighters in the world, like it or not. You know, he's also has a massive following. So if Dustin can get not 1 but 2 wins over McGregor, that would catapult him even higher, right? I mean, you got to say, if Dustin wins again, it's safe to say his stock goes up. He'll probably get more fans, everything, you know, all the good stuff that comes along with it, right? I mean, should Dustin win this fight upcoming tomorrow, he would have won the trilogy, and he would have 2 wins over one of the hugest names in UFC. We know that Dustin is confident that he can keep McGregor, that he can KO McGregor. You know, the last win over McGregor, he already knows that he's coming that in his head. That's already a mentality thing. So, you know, the Diamond's looking to make a statement now. Should he win this next fight? In the post interview from the second fight, they said that if he wanted the belt, or if he was going to fight for the belt, you know, and he responded after that second fight, when he beat Dustin, he responded, hey, you know, me and Conor are the best guys. So I really do believe in his heart that maybe he does think Conor is better than maybe everybody else. And so he sees him as maybe more prestigious, says, hey, you know, I don't care about this other fight. Good things are going to come with McGregor. I'm going to go over there, take care of him, lay him out, see what's up. He's already done it now. When, like I said, lots of different things we could say that go into play. Dustin's been prepared. He's been ready. Experts are saying Conor might try to throw some kicks in there, get distracted. You give a little Dustin a little his own medicine. Dustin's already prepared for it. He's already says, okay, if that's what he's going to do, that's what he's going to do. Whatever Conor is going to do, Dustin's going to be prepared. So Conor is going to have to use his feints, use his feet, good quick work. And, you know, and Dustin has all of this too. This is almost like unstoppable force meets immovable object. Somebody's getting knocked out. Or so I really don't see this one going the distance. I think this one's going to be amazing. This was going to be a heavy main event. Not heavyweight, of course, but heavy duty main events. Should work.
Well, you know, this is the third fight, and it's going to be good. A lot of people are going to watch this fight. They're going to make a lot of money, but there is something to prove for both, right? For Conor, you know, he wants to prove he's still the man, right? And this is a good way. You know, if you lose, you and I have talked about this before here on the 365. His career's not over, but it definitely is a setback. And I agree with you. I think it is. You know, for Dustin, you know, he gave up the title fight. He wants to prove. He knows Dustin knows that Conor's a fan favorite. You know, it's outside of the money. These guys really want to beat each other. They you know, Dustin wants to be the man. If he can beat Conor in this fight, then he becomes a man. You know, okay, well, it was just one time, 1-1. Well, I've beaten him twice. You beat a guy once, could be luck. You beat him twice, you're the better fighter, right? That's basically where it goes. You win one, well, you know, maybe you had an off night, you know. But if you come back and you beat the same guy again twice, now you are the better fighter. People, you know, he's a better fighter. He won twice. So this is what Dustin is trying to prove. You know, for Conor's the big I mean, he's the big guy. He's a fan favorite. Everybody loves him. He's got to come in here. He wins this one and he's right back in. This is going to be a very good fight. I'm going to tune into it. I know you're going to tune into it. I know a lot of people are going to tune into it. So this is going to be a great fight. Now we go over and we turn it over and we go back to the actual main event. So now, now that Val has kind of previewed and kind of broken down the fights into what he thinks, and kind of just, giving you the experience and the skill set that these guys have. Now he's going to make his predictions on these 5 fights, and he's going to tell you who he thinks will win this fight. So let's go back to the Sean and Kris fight. And so, Val, give us your prediction. Who wins this fight?
This prediction, I'm gonna have to give it to O'Malley on this one. Kris Moutinho, all due respect for him, I think he's an excellent fighter. I really do think he is the best fight maybe for Sean. I just think Sean is maybe a little bit level above him. I think he's going to be one step ahead. I think he's going to probably maybe beat him to the punch. If he doesn't, he'll have a counter there waiting for him. Like I've said, I want to talk back about what I said before. Sean, he does just crafty stuff that you would expect from like a guy who is just years been doing this for a long time, a veteran, you would say. And I just think, Kris Moutinho, even though he does have some good wins, he is going to have some good cardio. I do believe he will be able to go 3 rounds with Sean, but I just think Sean is going to be a little bit more precise. I think he's going to be a little bit more precision. He's going to have a fine target early. I think he'll figure out Moutinho's rhythm early on in the fight. I would say if he doesn't knock him out in the first one, it'd be the second. So I'm going to say in my prediction, I'm going to go for Sean O'Malley for a second round TKO. Moutinho's good. He could surprise us all and win and stuff. But I'm gonna go with Sean O'Malley just because I think he's a little bit more technical. I think he'll maybe be faster. He'll probably figure out a way to time him and outstrike Moutinho. Probably get him out of there in the second round. So my final prediction: O'Malley round 2 TKO over Moutinho.
All right, now we go to the women's bantamweight bout. Irene, Yana, who wins this one?
This one is tough. The women's bantamweight for 135. I mean, these girls are fast and they are strong. And just when you think they are out, like there's been so many times I'm watching these girls and I'm like, okay, it's gonna be over in a minute. No, it goes, what the heck is going on? And I think that's what we're going to see here. I think we're going to see a good banger. I think we're going to see a good striking match. I think both these girls have what it takes to land some good, decent shots, but it's all about, I see this one going to a decision. So it's all going to be about who's going to outscore who has the most significant strikes, who has the most regular strikes, who has the most takedowns. I don't see this fight being too much wrestling heavy, maybe a takedown here and there, but most likely I think it's probably going to be stood on the feet for the most part. I see Aldana maybe figuring out Kunitskaya throughout the fight, never really finishing her. I think maybe Aldana has the heart, has the determination, has the toughness to bite down on the mouthpiece and just go in there and scrap with Kunitskaya. I think Kunitskaya, where she might be maybe more technical or boxing or something, I think Aldana is gonna go past that, break that offense, break that defense. I think they don't have a reach event. They're both about the same, but I'm just giving it to Aldana. I just think she has a little bit more fire in her. I think she's tough, and I see she could possibly outscore Kunitskaya. Use the feints, keep her guessing, keep the good footwork, bobbing and weaving, never really letting Kunitskaya get a good read. Kunitskaya, I would imagine that she'd probably try to establish a sense of range from the get-go. Both these, one could be same for Irene too. I see Kunitskaya maybe trying to set up a jab, maybe trying to use some kicks to establish some range, but Irene Aldana, I think she's the one that'll probably press. And if Irene Aldana can strike first and maybe catch her, or I don't want to say catch her, but if she could strike first and get some good precision on her, she could probably win. I don't see this fight getting finished, but I think Irene Aldana is going to do enough to outscore her opponent, maybe pick her apart throughout the fight. Definitely in round 2 and 3, I think maybe she'll start getting some timings, getting some reads more, as long as she doesn't get too ahead of herself, get too overwhelmed with herself, get too excited, try to go for some crazy shot. I think as long as she keeps her cool, she can outscore Kunitskaya. So my prediction would be Irene Aldana maybe winning by decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next one that we'll predict, the Val will predict, will be the heavyweight bout between Tuivasa and Hardy. Who's got this one?
Yeah, this one is gonna be crazy. Heavyweight fight. These guys are gonna throw with sandbags, with cement bags, with weight. They're gonna have rocks tied to their hands, and or something. I don't know. I'm just playing. But anyway, this one's gonna be good. Hardy, I definitely see him taking control, taking strong. I do want to see, I've said it before, I want to see what he's learned from those other losses. I see him, he can counter fight, but I think with Tuivasa, I think he will believe in his speed and his strength, that he can outpower Tuivasa, maybe take control. I think Hardy's keys to victory may be taking control, being aggressive, and definitely hitting first, because Tuivasa, he can counter too. And when you're playing the game of stand-up, it's anybody's game. You could bob when you could have weaved, or weave when you could have, and it could be lights out. You could blink once and that's it. You could always something could happen, if you stand up. So with this fight, it definitely goes either way. Anything could happen when you got two guys that stand up and bang. But Hardy, I do believe he's worked hard. I want to say that Hardy is gonna maybe bring it out with this one. All due respect to Tuivasa, I think he's heavy duty. I think he's strong, but I think Hardy's just gonna be quicker on the feet. I think Hardy's footwork is gonna be faster. I think he's gonna be moving a little quicker. I think he's gonna be coming in first. I think Tuivasa might be backing up a little bit, but just because he's backing up doesn't mean nothing. I'm sure he'll throw, but when you start backing up, you could fall into some traps, right? If Tuivasa doesn't go back, well, then he's gonna meet Hardy in the pocket, and when that happens, either Hardy's getting knocked out or Tuivasa's getting knocked out. And I think Hardy is gonna be a little bit faster, so if he can hit first, I think Hardy would be more successful in the pocket. So I'm gonna have to say Hardy. I think Hardy is gonna TKO him in round 2. I think in the round 1, he'll probably figure him out, try to establish a sense of reins, get a sense of direction going, try to set him up. Once he figures out some reads, take the break. In the second round, I think it's go time. I think Hardy is going to get him second round TKO.
All right, then we go to the welterweight bout, which is number 2, Gilbert Burns going up against Thompson Steven at number 4. Your prediction?
Yeah, this one's gonna be amazing too. Burns, like I said, I think he's gonna be quicker. I think he's gonna be faster. Kind of similar to what I was talking about the last fight. I think Burns is gonna come out really aggressive too. He's gonna really try to set a bar for Wonderboy that's gonna be hard for Wonderboy to get accustomed to. I think maybe if Gilbert can come out maybe fast in the first round, second round, Wonderboy is going to have to really maybe kind of I'm not saying he's going to take a hit to give a hit. I mean, if he does, that's what he does. But I feel like he's definitely going to have to look for the counter. Always make sure that when Burns comes forward, that Wonderboy meets him with something. He's gonna have to make him pay. He has to make him respect him somehow. Because if Wonderboy just lets Gilbert Burns rush in, because I feel like Burns might, he can counter fight too. But Wonderboy, if Wonderboy, he's not. You don't really see him coming in straight down the center too much. I kind of see him having success a lot when he's maybe backing up. He'll do a good counter and he really picks people out. I mean, even though that he's a counter fighter, that doesn't mean he can't do offense, because you can definitely do offense and when you're countering, for sure. And I've seen Wonderboy do it. I think Burns is a really good fight for him. I think that Wonderboy is gonna win. I think Wonderboy is gonna win by a decision. I think Burns might be a little tough. If Wonderboy can get him out of there, I mean, I'm sure that'd be great for him, but I just see Gilbert Burns as really strong. Wonderboy is going to really have to set him up, break him down. Like I said, Gilbert's going to come in 1-2. Maybe let's let him get tired. Gilbert has good cardio. They can go the whole 5 rounds or whatever rounds they're going to go. And I think that Gilbert could do it, right? But especially now that that he could have done it before he got stopped by Usman. Had he gone, I seemed like with that fight, Gilbert could have gone the 5, but Usman was just on that other level that he was able to outstrike him and got him down. But now going into this fight with Wonderboy, it's going to be a very different fight from Usman. Usman is so much different fighter. from Wonderboy. So this one is going to be very good. I'm going to have to say I think Wonderboy is going to win this one. I'm going to tell you why. I think just his craftiness, his veteran, even though I don't believe he's going to be out stronger than Gilbert, I think just his veteranness and his skillfulness alone. This guy knows crafty tricks, skillful tricks. He does. I think he's going to know some tricks in his book that maybe not might be in Gilbert's. Gilbert's is going to have a lot of heart, a lot of discipline. So I don't see Wonderboy maybe getting the finish on him. But if Wonderboy can maybe let him get a little tired because Gilbert's going to come fast in the first, second round. Maybe he gets past those 2 rounds. I see the longer the fight goes, I see Thompson's craftiness starting to creep over, right? Starting to sneak over late in that 3rd round. Or if it's going to go to a 4th, 5th round. Usually sometimes with co-mains, they've been, sometimes they do that. So this one's going to be really good. I mean, whoever wins this one, it's looking like they're going to get a title, looking like they might get a title shot for sure. So, I mean, this one's going to be good. I feel like Stephen Thompson, my prediction for him, I'm gonna go with him. I think it's going to be a decision. Thompson win by decision.
All right, and then we go to the main event, the lightweight bout, which is number 1, Dustin Poirier, of course, number 5, Conor McGregor. Who do you have?
Wow, it's tough to say. This fight really is where you could just flip a coin and whoever's gonna take it takes it. Whoever blinks first or whoever hits first. You got Dustin. I think his keys to victory are gonna watch out for Conor, be counter. Definitely use his feints too, try to set Conor up too. Definitely use the kicks again, even though he used it again. Maybe do some fake leg kicks, try to get Conor thinking, I think he's definitely has a good shot, but in Conor keys to victory, I think his keys to victory are fairly simple. I don't think Conor had the training camp to go 5 rounds. Conor's most success is if he finishes it in the first, second round. 9 out of 10 times when Conor has won in the past, it's usually been boop, right there in that first round, it's over. And this is what he always tries to recreate. He is used to this success. He likes it, wants to keep it this way. So it's not that he can't go 5 rounds. It's just that he's never had to. So I think Dustin's cardio might be a little bit better to go into that, to those deep waters. But if Conor can hit him fast, hit him hard, we know that Conor can rock him. I think Conor has a good chance too. Conor's keys to success is if he finds a good combo and is successful, that he needs to keep going and don't hesitate, because we know how durable, we know how resilient Dustin Poirier is. If you give this guy just any little window to recover, even a split second, that's it. That's all he needs to catch a second win, because we know how good Poirier is. I think, Poirier is going to maybe set back for the first round, maybe he will. In the second round, third, maybe come in the second and third, try to finish it then, if not the first round. But I think Conor has laser precision. I believe that Conor can hit any target that he sets his mind on. I've seen Conor in every fight, and he does find a home for that hand of his. I believe it's the left hand is what he likes to do. And I'm going to tell you what, this is a big fight, a lot riding on this. If Conor can lay hands and touch Dustin in the first round and follow up with his combos and be in and out, don't ever let Dustin time his rhythm, because Dustin was getting his rhythm. You notice that knockout that Dustin hit him with from the last fight, Conor went into it. He's maybe like he was going to throw it over. He just ducked right into it. Dustin got his timing. Conor's always had amazing footwork. He's always been a great boxer. I feel like he can do it in the first round if he doesn't stop. I think he has a lot of fire. I think he has a lot of heart. Dustin has a lot of fire too, has a lot of passion. Both these guys have a lot of passion. I might not have liked how McGregor was talking at the press conference. He was saying some crazy stuff, but I'm going to have to go with McGregor on this one. I think if McGregor can touch him in the first round, don't give him any windows to recover. I think McGregor, if he rocks him in the first, because I know that he can find a target for anything. I think that McGregor is gonna find a home for it in the first round and just forget about gas, forget about that, because I think that it's his best bet. Because if he can just follow up, the referee more likely are going to stop it if Dustin doesn't go down. You know, if Dustin's taking 2 heavy shots, it doesn't look like he can recover himself. They will stop it. If Conor allows Dustin to recover, this is when Dustin is going to start picking him apart in round 2 and round 3. He knows Dustin is already prepared for this, and he knows he's not going to get eager. What loses fights is emotions. You get to emotions, you don't want to get to emotions. That's why it's all business, right? Like, you got to leave the motion behind, because when you start doing fighting emotion, sometimes you make mistakes, you know, and none of these guys want to make mistakes here. So both these guys know, I'm going to have to say no emotion from these guys for sure. But yeah, my prediction, I think Conor round 1, I think if he can touch him and don't stop, I think he can get the ref to get him off.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a good one. We've seen they've each won a fight. And as I said earlier, you know, they're both going to make a lot of money, but this is personal. They both want to win. You know, Conor wants to still, win this fight. I'm still here. I'm still the man that you got to beat. I'm still Conor McGregor. Dustin Poirier says, "Hey, I beat this guy twice. I'm the man." There's no more debate about what's going on. I beat him tomorrow, and I'm better than Conor because I beat him twice. That's not a fluke. The first one might have been luck, but this is the one that will decide who the better fighter is. And so, you know, I don't know a lot about Dustin. I've read up on some stuff, you know. Conor's a favorite. A lot of people love Conor McGregor. I think Conor has been more serious about this fight than he was the first year, even the one that he won, the second one. I think he understands. I think he's hungry. He's talked about not bringing his family. It's all business from what he's saying. And his workouts have been, you know, pretty intense. He's in good shape. He's looked good. I didn't see the interview, so I don't know what kind of nonsense he was talking. But
it was pretty crazy.
Conor always talks, you know, smack. That's just who he is. I don't know why he does that. But at the end of the day, you know, they're going to settle it in the octagon. And, you know, I think it could go either way. I'm a Conor McGregor fan, so I want to see Conor win, you know. But, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if Dustin wins because, you know, when you win a second fight and whether Conor was prepared or not, but the fact that Conor wasn't prepared well enough for that second fight, now this third fight, that win that Dustin got in that second fight gives him some confidence. And I think that's what's kind of big in this fight. You know, it doesn't matter what you say. For Dustin, okay, I can knock him out. I can beat him. When it's a mental part to anything, any sport, right? Because when somebody knocks you out, you lose one, you're going to go out there and give it all. But in your head, you know, can I really beat him? I mean, can I really beat him? Because he's beaten me. Can I really beat this guy? And so there's always that in the back of your mind. Conor not coming in that second fight and allowing Dustin to beat him gives Dustin a lot of confidence coming into this fight. And that's something else now that Conor has to deal with because confidence means a lot. You know, when you come in here and you're talking on smack, but man, I haven't beaten this guy. I haven't beaten him. So, can I really beat him? Can I do this? You know, but when you beat somebody, it's like, okay, I've already beaten this guy, so I know I can do it again. It changes the fight, right? So Conor is really going to have to come in very focused, which he can. He's a good fighter. And really attack him. And I think you're right. I think Conor needs to come out and show him. I think Conor needs to come out in this fight and make a statement to Dustin right off the bat. It's not going to be anything like the second fight. Feel my power. I ain't got to knock you out, but he's got to let him know right off the bat. You know, it's not going to be like fight number 2. This is going to be a whole different fight. And then it starts to change the momentum of the fight, right? So I think it's really important for Conor to come out. He doesn't have to win the first one. The first round, but he does need to come out and make a statement. If Dustin gets off, because the more confidence as the fight goes, the more Dustin starts feeling comfortable. He said it gets in a rhythm. It's bad for Conor, right? It's really bad because it does going into the second, going into the third. So I think in the later rounds doesn't mean that Dustin will win the fight, but as the later rounds we go to second, third, these fights I think Dustin has a better chance because, okay, I'm hanging in with this guy. I'm hanging in. I think Conor says, okay, I haven't been able to take him down. So Conor needs to come out and make a statement right off the bat. Listen, this isn't going to be like fight one. I'm here, feel my punch. And then I think somewhere down the point, I think Conor takes him out. But he's got to come out and make a statement, I think, in round 1 and 2. Because if Dustin starts getting rhythm, he starts feeling good after that first round, then Conor may be in trouble. Doesn't mean Dustin will win it. But the more confidence I think Dustin gets going into this fight as the fight progresses, I think it's not going to be very good for Conor. But I'm going to go with Conor. I like him. I'm a Conor McGregor fan, so I want to see Conor, win it. But it is going to be a good one. Tune in. I'll be watching it, man. It's going to be a good fight. We'll be back on Sunday at 7 p.m. To break this fight between Dustin and Conor, and of course the other 4 on the main event. So it's been great. Later on, be looking out for our 365 Sports Unlimited Facebook and Twitter pages. We're going to have polls out on both of them for the main event. If you are a follower of the 365 Sports Unlimited, take some time and vote. We want to see who you think will win this fight. If you don't want to go and vote all 5, at least vote for the Conor McGregor and Dustin, because this is going to be a good one, man. And I can't wait to see it tomorrow night. It's going to be a good one. And then we'll be back Sunday and we'll know who the winners are. So, Val, as I always do here, man, it was great. Thank you for coming on this evening and, kind of breaking these fights down for us and, of course, making your predictions. And on Sunday, we'll let you know what Val's made only one prediction on to 263. So this will be the second one. And then I'll have his total wins and losses in the 2 fights that he's predicted. This is the way we're going to go throughout the year. So Val, before we call it a night, man, as I always do, I give you the last word. Anything you got to say?
Yeah, no, I'm having I'm having fun, I'm still learning a lot, every time I come on here, I'm trying to, see, still adjust, see what maybe works better with my style and stuff. I'm not, but I have fun doing this. I have a passion for fights. I always say, I love talking about it, I love talking about strategies, discussing, seeing a sense of direction, where this fight is going to go, steer, like where is this fight going to go? Where to steer this fight. And so, just talking about them, and just bringing out, just the heart that I have for this. And, it's just fun, I want to have fun now and I want to have fun with you guys and whoever's the fans, whoever's following, that, we do this for y'all. And, we love talking about the MMA, and I like bringing it to the table, like discussing it. So it's all good. It's all fun.
Well, the 365 is glad to have you, man. We're going to get better, as I said before.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're taking baby steps, but we put some thought into what we want to do, the direction that we want to go. Throughout the year, UFC just continues to go, it's like every month they have a fight, they have a card in main event. So we're going to be right there. So I think as we continue to do this, of course, I've got to still, I've got a ways to go to understand these fighters and kind of do my research on them, and I'm doing that. But I think we're going to get better as we go. I think there's a lot of UFC fans out there, and I think that, because I hear a lot of them talking. They don't come on the podcast, but they definitely talk. So we're doing a good thing here by bringing this to light. And then we have somebody on the other side that really enjoys it, does the research, goes to the fights when he can live to watch them. So it's going to be a lot of fun, man. And we're not only going to be covering the big fighters, but the up and coming fighters, the guys that want to make a name for themselves. Those are the ones too under the cards, because you never know what they'll be in a year or two, man. They may be a Dustin Poirier or a Conor McGregor the next, 3 years, 3 to 5 years. You just never know what can happen, right? So we pay attention to it all, baby steps, but I definitely enjoy doing this once a week. It's great to come out and talk about these and break these fights down, makes the prediction. It makes it a lot of fun. And when we're doing these podcasts throughout the week, you get to see interviews, you get to do your research and kind of see what's going on. And of course, we make the best prediction we can. I think the fun part of this is just talking UFC. And as because there's always day-to-day things develop, and we want to be able to see that and then talk about it when we come on our podcast on Sunday. So Val, thank you very much, man. Enjoy the fight tomorrow night. And
For
then
sure.
we'll be back on Sunday at 7 p.m. to break down these fights. It's going to be a good one. I say go Conor McGregor. I definitely like to see him. But Dustin Poirier will be a tough fight for him. This will be a good one. So until I see you on Sunday at 7, man, peace out. Have a great night. Enjoy the fight, and I'll see you on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. Peace out. Enjoy the fight too.
Yes, sir.